There is this concept out there that you could work 2 full-time remote jobs at the same time, making double salary without much lift in hours if done right. But is it a good idea? In this video, we're going to find out. Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome to Transparent Finance, where my goal is to be as transparent as possible with my finances while teaching you how to build your net worth. If you've subscribed to this channel and watched my videos, I know that you will improve your overall understanding of building your net worth and retiring early. Getting back to our topic, we need to first paint a picture of what we are talking about here. Sometimes, just getting one job alone can be challenging, but there are people out there in high demand fields like programming who could easily work 2 jobs at the same time. I have even heard of someone working 3 jobs at the same time. Despite the ethical and moral complexities here, I'm going to talk you through some pros and cons of this type of arrangement, culminating with my thoughts on if it is a good idea. I also want to put out a quick disclaimer in case my employer is watching this. I am not working 2 jobs right now, and it is never my intention to be working 2 jobs at the same time. Let's go ahead and start off with the pros of working 2 jobs at the same time. The first pro is obvious. If you are working 2 full-time jobs, you are going to be making 2 full-time salaries. If my salary doubled right now, I think I would very much enjoy that. My wife just quit her job last month to be with the kids full time, so this would definitely be a solid contributor for our family. The second pro is that with all that extra income, you are going to have a lot more options for your life. Sure, you could spend that money, but I would be much more interested in investing that money in something that would pay me money down the road after I inevitably burnt out from working 2 jobs at the same time. After this video ends, I want you to watch the video about my 3-fund portfolio that helps mitigate risk while producing solid returns. I will leave a link in the description section. If you haven't yet caught the bug for early retirement, having 2 jobs and bringing in that much income might guide you there. I am personally on track for early retirement despite not working 2 jobs. It is never too late to take an interest in building that life for yourself. The third pro is simply leverage. If you are working 2 jobs, you obviously have a skill that could put you in the position to have 2 jobs. Maybe you love both equally, or maybe you hate one job and love the other. But if you are in this position, you now have the opportunity for massive leverage when push comes to shove. For example, I could not go to my employer right now and demand a raise of $30,000. Why? I don't have much leverage. However, if I went to my employer and told them I need a $30,000 raise, or I am putting in my 2 weeks tomorrow, they would most likely try to negotiate with me. If you had 2 jobs, this would put you in a better position for extreme negotiations like this. At the end of the day, if you are okay with losing one of your jobs, you will have a lot more pull when it comes to negotiations, simply based on the confidence in knowing that you have another job waiting. So these pros are great and all, but mostly they are just financial. There are a lot more cons than the 3 pros that I just mentioned, but I'm going to try and whittle them down to just a few to keep it brief. The first con that comes to mind is the fact that you might be extremely overworked. I personally work 40 hours per week, and I cannot imagine doubling my workload. I would have 0 personal time to spend with family or enjoy my hobbies. I will say that while doing research for this video, I found that not many people actually work double the amount, which is kind of the appeal here. Yes, they might work a little more, but the goal, it seems, is to condense your workday into 8 to 10 hours while working 2 jobs. But of course, I have to mention this con because depending on your position or the company you work for, it might be a lot more hours than you expected, so be careful how you move forward here. The second con is scheduling meetings. You are going to be in a constant dance around your meeting schedule. My meeting schedule is already crazy enough that it can be difficult to keep up with. If I threw in the complications of a second job here, it would be a nightmare for me. And then of course, if you keep declining meetings or are difficult to get in touch with, your supervisor will become suspicious. It's kind of a slippery slope. I'm sure there are ways around this, but it gives me anxiety to think about it. The third con is that you could be discovered and lose both jobs. Imagine going from 2 jobs to no jobs. It has happened plenty of times to people who think that they could work 2 remote jobs at once. If one of your employers senses that you are double dipping, they might do some research and find out who your other employer is. Then they might work together to get rid of you. This is simply one of the risks that you are going to take if you are trying to get away with working 2 jobs. The fourth con is naturally the sheer amount of stress that you are going to experience by having 2 jobs. It is not just the fact that you have 2 jobs. It's the stress of being found out, the lost hours with loved ones, the possible lack of sleep. I can keep going, but I think you get the point. Some days you could be so stressed out that you might want to quit your job in a panic. Hey, real quick, thanks so much for watching up to this point in the video. I appreciate you all, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if this is the type of content that you are interested in. Don't forget to head over to my channel after this video ends and check out my latest monthly net worth update. Also, please like this video, share this video, and comment to trigger the YouTube algorithm to show this to more people. It helps much more than you think. As you can see, there are some good benefits to working 2 remote jobs at the same time, but there also are some massive downsides. To be fair, if I was a programmer and I had 2 employers that were okay with this type of arrangement, I might be willing to give it a shot. But right now, I am not willing to take that risk. Let's do a quick recap of the pros and cons of having 2 remote jobs at the same time. Starting with the pros, you would have double the salary, you would have more options given your financial situation, and the third pro is leverage, both financial and strategic. Despite the heavy workload that you might experience, the massive advantages from the extra cash could be life-changing for you. I know that if I doubled my salary right now, I would be able to put a ton of money in investments, which would help me retire early. And if I was able to get 2 jobs, I am assuming that whatever skill I had would be in high demand. The cons are a little more plentiful than the pros. These are, of course, the hours that you might need to put in, meeting conflicts, losing both jobs after being discovered by your employers, and being stressed out about the whole situation. This is a lot to take in when you are comparing different ways of making more money. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Ultimately, that question is up to you. Do you think that having more money is worth the time and stress that having two jobs will impose on you? I'm really interested to hear what you all have to say about this topic, so please be sure to leave me a comment below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. That's it for now. Until next time, keep at it.